your local Twin Peaks today to take advantage of sweet draft party prizes for the whole league. Visit our site at twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy for more info.
Attention Dream Cruisers, buy tickets to the best Dream Cruise party ever at Dugan's Irish Pub on August 20th. Brought to you by Kroger. Tickets include food, your first drink, and live entertainment. Individual tickets are just $25. Or get a ticket package that includes valet parking. Buy them at dreamcruiseparty.com.
There's no part of our bodies that put in more work than our feet. And with all that work, your feet can start to ache. But luckily, there's relief for our overworked feet. Skechers Arch Fit footwear for men and women. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. They used 20 years of data and over 120,000 unweighted foot scans to create a podiatrist-certified insole that distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have. And with all that support comes extreme comfort. Skechers are the fit and comfort specialists. And Arch Fit shoes from Skechers provide expert comfort whether walking or just standing. They're so comfortable, they're not just for people with tired, achy feet. Everybody can enjoy just how amazing they feel. Plus, many are machine washable. So even though you'll be wearing them all day, every day, you can easily keep them looking new. So give yourself some soothing comfort and support with podiatrist-certified Skechers Arch Fit footwear. Your overworked feet will thank you. See all the styles of Arch Fit footwear for men and women at Skechers.com, the Skechers store near you, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late. And that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our KeepStock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/KeepStock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, welcome to Everything Outdoors. Can I help you find anything?
Hey, yeah. Can you point us to the camping gear?
Sure, aisle 2.
Snowboarding? Just bought a new Nissan Pathfinder. It's got intelligent 4x4, and we want to hit the backcountry.
Aisle 18.
And the boats?
Are you sure you can do all this?
Up to 6,000 pounds towing, we're good to go. Oh, where's the scuba gear?
Return to rugged in the all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. Available intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Towing capability varies by configuration. See Nissan Owner's Manual for proper use.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Papura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
At home, in your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jansen.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Andersonville Road.
Jim Costa, Tom the Governor Milliken, Heather Park hanging out with you guys this morning. Good morning on a Tuesday. Well, we're one step closer to this Lions preseason game.
Yeah.
And I know you're dying to get it here and get it going.
Let's get the next week.
And we now know how much of the starters we're going to see. Remember, this is a reduced preseason. They're down to 3 games. There wasn't even a preseason a year ago, and you got a new coaching staff. So how are they going to handle the preseason? Dan Campbell revealed yesterday, we're going to see the starters for a full quarter. And I think this catches people off guard. You got Sean McVay out in Los Angeles, and he's saying Stafford's never going to play a preseason game as long as he's the head coach. The thought there is only bad things can happen in the preseason game. Dan Campbell wants to give extended run to
Go
those
past
starters.
this light, then
And
at the
I
next
do think
one,
typically
turn left.
I find myself saying, that's reckless. But I actually think this makes sense for the Lions.
At the light, turn
Because
left onto Andersonville Road.
It's a new scheme, and they don't really have super established guys. Who's the person you're afraid is going to get injured? This is not a good football team. They need extended run for some of these guys. I'm not as concerned about one debilitating injury on a 5-win football team.
Well, and this will get to something maybe we'll get to later in the show about the Jared Goff conundrum that this team's facing and whether you want him to succeed here or not. You know, I do think there's an importance to when there's new people, when there's new coaches and there's new key figures that you at least go through the basics. You know, you're not giving away game plans. You're not doing anything, but you're handing the ball off to Swift or Williams in a game and you're getting used to that exchange. Or you're under center as Jared Goff and you're getting used to that exchange. And you kind of just go through the motions. You know, you run basic routes and stuff. But I'm with more than a McVay thing. And I used to not be this way. Not that I've ever thought preseason mattered a whole lot, but I thought it mattered to go through these, you know, even for a Matthew Stafford to go through this. Last year changed everything. We had legitimate NFL football right out of the gate in the regular season. And these games didn't matter. They didn't have preseason, and it didn't matter one bit. You know, and I'm like, I hear what you're saying in terms of the Lions, and I agree with you, Jim. I think we're in line on this pretty much. It's situational. It's based on each organization. There's no reason Aaron Rodgers needs to take a snap.
No, and it's funny you mentioned last year where the pros were able to go without a preseason. College does it every year. And I get it, some years you open up with a few cupcake games to get yourself settled, but they've got a roster with 85 scholarship players, plus the walk-ons, 100 guys. They don't do a preseason, and you know what? Football's just fine.
No.
They're able to play, and it reduces. The concern here is injury. That's the big thing, is you want to reduce injury, and it's why like a team like the Rams or some of these NFL teams schedule competitive scrimmages against another team, and you can control that. You can say, I want my quarterback in a red jersey. We're not touching the quarterback. We can work on red zone. We can work on 2-minute drill. We can work on 3rd and long. We can set the sticks where we want them and run it over and over and over again and then go home. You play a preseason game and it's vanilla schemes.
In
You don't necessarily
5.7
know if
miles,
you're gonna get a
keep
2-minute
right
drill
onto
opportunity
Andersonville
or a red
Road.
zone opportunity for your starters. Typically, you're just going out there and putting your players in harm's way to get injured. I don't want my star players playing in the preseason, period. I don't think the Lions have star players, though. Maybe TJ Hawkinson. But outside of him, am I really concerned that an injury is going to make or break this Lions season?
Well, one thing I thought about putting our prep before the show, do the Lions have a Pro Bowler outside of TJ, potentially?
Frank Ragnow. I think with centers, you go, hey, you can play a quarter.
All right, so if this team's going to be successful, Dan Campbell needs to be really smart. You know, let's say this team, you know, and some people like John Jansen believe they're going to overachieve. I don't know yet. I want to get closer to the regular season, but I do think you got to protect the offensive line. You got to protect your strengths.
But that's the problem, is if you sit the offensive line, everybody else is going to be put in harm's way. If you're playing second-string offensive lineman and Goff's out there, he's a sitting duck.
Exactly, and that's why I'm especially, I don't like this necessarily. I'm not going to rip the Lions. It's preseason, come on and stuff. I'm not going to die on this porch, you know. But I don't, you know, you get the torn ACL. Like, look, I know you're not the biggest of Jared Goff fans, but you realize that if he tore his ACL, you're looking at number 1 pick potential.
Great. Where do I sign up?
Wow. You're not rooting for injury, right?
No. You got to put that disclaimer in there. I think he's a good guy, and I think he's working to be the best quarterback he can be. He does have that chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he can succeed post-McVay. All those things are things to rally around, and I get why Detroiters have done that, but there's a clear drop-off in talent. He's more expensive than Stafford, and I'm being sold on him being a game manager this year, and that's fine. It's fine, but you're not going to be a great football team with an expensive game manager. So I look at it like this. Yeah, let him run a full quarter. Let him get his legs under him in the preseason. If something, God forbid, does happen to him, what's the downside here? I guess Tim Boyle, according to Kyle Meinke, has looked just as good in practice. And they go out and win 3 football games, draft their heir apparent, and move on their merry way. And at the same time, Campbell can still instill a culture. They can get better on defense. They can get better running the ball. It could still be a successful season, even if somebody got injured this year. They're just not in this position where I'm concerned about one injury derailing a playoff run. That's not who these Lions are.
What are the things that you want to see this season? Because I think it starts with, okay, the DNA of this football team, it looks like it's going to be the trenches. And I love that long term, that they've done it on the offensive line pretty much. They still need some work, maybe defensive line. But you want to also run the football. And I think we both like the 2-headed monster that they have right now. I do. So, but you got DeAndre Swift. He's banged up right now. He hasn't been practicing. He's got a groin injury. He better not be out there Friday. I don't think we'd see him Friday, but at this point, I don't want to see him all preseason. I don't. If he's got a nagging groin injury, baby that thing and get it ready for a month from, tomorrow, I think?
So then the question for Lions fans, you have just on the surface level here, starters are going to play a quarter. Is there anybody you don't need to see in the preseason on this team? Anybody who you think is too valuable to play in the preseason for the Lions? 248-539-9797. And your overall philosophy, maybe it's changed to Tom's point about how you feel about these preseason games and how much you even need to see of guys. Last year may have been that change for some people when you realized, we don't actually need this. Now, the coaches want it because they got to make a decision about who the 53 guys are. The guys who are trying to make the roster want this, but let's also be honest about it. How many of those guys who are on the cut list end up being super duper stars? Coaches got to make those evaluations in practice, schedule some scrimmages. That's their job. College coaches figure out who the starters are going to be without playing 3 or 4 preseason.
Well, the thing is with college, I will say this, they always say that the team improves the most between the first and the second game because they don't have a preseason. So you're kind of going out there because you haven't really competed against somebody else. Really, and that's why you'll see some of these teams get plucked. Like, I don't think Michigan ever would have lost to App State if it wasn't the first game. I think last year, wasn't it Louisiana that went to Iowa State and won? And it really screwed up Iowa State's ultimate chances of getting a playoff through they probably would have been playing for a playoff spot in the Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma last year. So you do see, there are two sides to this.
I'll give you this. Week 1 college football this year in the Big Ten. Penn State, Wisconsin are going to play Week 1. No preseason, no cupcake game, no tune-up. Week 1, who are your starters head-to-head? Penn State, Wisconsin. That's a big game. It's not the only Big Ten matchup in the first week of the season.
Well, then you brought up Penn State. I would argue that last year, and it was messed up. The Big Ten screwed that up so bad. But remember, they got upset and they got screwed on the call against Indiana. In the first game, they went into that's a nasty situation for a first game for a college team, having not seen what you have out there. But in the end, last year, I'll repeat it, it changed my mind with the preseason. It's an absolute waste of time when push comes to shove, and it's not worth it. And the other thing, too, when you put your starters out there and they're not doing what they normally do, you also open yourself up to injury. Because are you playing not to get hurt? Are you telling your offensive line, hey, don't go out there and push to as hard as you can? All of a sudden, then maybe you're jeopardizing a knee there because you're doing something you don't do that you've been doing for, 15, 20 years of your life.
Well, football coaches will say it, and people who know, like, physical training and therapy will say, if you're not going to play 100%, you're actually more likely to get injured.
Exactly.
So if you're going to play in a preseason game with the pads on, somebody could hit your quarterback. You got to play to the whistle. You have to play like it's a game and it's a true dress rehearsal. But when you do that and you put them out there for a quarter, 2 quarters, however long you end up playing the guys, it's just a numbers game. The number of snaps you play in a physical football game, stuff's going to happen. Someone's going to roll up on you. So I think the thought process would be, if you have a good football team, if you have Pro Bowl star players, put them in bubble wrap, let them practice in some situations to get ready for the regular season. I don't think the Lions have this super talented group that's destined for the postseason, and an injury could derail them. I think Dan Campbell's like, I'm a first-year head coach. I'm trying to establish a culture. I want to see some extended run from these guys. And if somebody gets hurt, we're not rooting for it. We'll have to deal with it because that's just where we are in our rebuild as a football team.
Right. And I think one of the more recent preseason injuries, though, and that's, I don't have too much of a problem with what Campbell's going to do. Just, I would be weary of, TJ's the one you should protect, because
In 1 mile, keep right onto Andersonville Road.
If, you're buying into that, he's got to be a part of it because they're so deficient at wide receiver. It's a preseason injury, and I think Gray can maybe contribute here, that I thought was just so stupid a couple of years ago. It was a Jordy Nelson. Remember? Didn't he blow out his knee in preseason? And it was still when the Packers were it was when they were really loaded still.
Yeah, back in the mid-2000s or 2010s, and it was Pittsburgh is where the preseason game was. I mean, yes, you say that, but then I could say that could just as easily just be the first game of the season.
But I guess I'd rather have it happen in a game that counts.
Right.
Right. It only helps you mentally be able to accept. Yes. To me, that's the only difference.
And that's why I'm against any studs playing whatsoever, because...
So who are the studs for the Lions?
Hawkinson. It's Hawkinson. I don't want to steal thunder for later, but Goff, I have some intrigue.
You're interested.
Keep right onto Andersonville Road.
Anybody else?
I would be careful with Swift. I want him to be...
Any defensive players that you feel like, they're too valuable for this football team to play? Because I don't know that there's anybody on defense that's quote-unquote too valuable
In
to play in
3.1
the
miles,
preseason.
turn left onto Cross Hill Road.
Probably something we don't know, but the coaches know. And
But like Jeff Okudah, like he was a guy drafted very highly. He's also a second-year player. He can't take the preseason off. He needs this stuff.
No, I think he needs to be out there. And by the way, I think people have been a little unfair to him. Let him have a healthy season. And although I'll never say he was worth that pick, he could still be a really good football player. He could be a Pro Bowler. Let him develop. Corners, it takes some time.
Well, and a competent coaching staff just might unlock it. 248-539-9797. Lions going to play the starters in the preseason, a full quarter. This is unorthodox. Probably doesn't sit well if you're concerned about injury, but is there anybody on this team that you would be cautious with, that you wouldn't want to see play extended in the preseason? Coming up next, Cade Cunningham is going to play a matchup tonight against Jalen Green. Doug Karsh called it hopelessly insignificant, but I also feel like it's must-watch. Can something be both hopelessly insignificant and must-watch? It's coming up next on 97.1.
Summer's heating up again. You can tell by that humidity in the air today. And so is the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using bonus code TOMM1000, and your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $1,000. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in MLB, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. And when you register at BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code TOMM1000 to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. Unbelievable offer. There's no way your local bookie is offering that. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. It's a new customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Ferndale Schools Tri-County Education Center. Looking at the drive this morning, there is a new accident on the right shoulder, 275 southbound at F1496. Heavier traffic through the work zone on 275 between South Huron Road and 94. Ferndale Schools Tri-County Education Center is the best virtual school option for your student this fall. Just because you're learning online doesn't mean you have to learn alone. For more information, visit gotcec.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you.
This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Northville Lumber.
This is Homer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Time to pump some irony, folks. Way back in April, Rob Manfred caved to pressure and unjustifiably relocated last month's Major League All-Star game
In
from
half a
Atlanta
mile,
to Denver.
turn left onto
Ironically,
Cross
this
Hill
Sunday,
Road.
Coors Field was the site of a potentially nasty racial incident. The alleged event occurred during a Marlins Rockies game when a fan was supposedly heard on TV yelling an offensive slur at Miami's Lewis Brinson. Social media, of course, and predictably went nuts, and the Rockies apologized while issuing the usual disclaimers. Then a team investigation revealed that the fan had not, in fact, shouted the N-word at Brinson. Rather, he was trying to get the attention of the Rockies mascot, a purple dinosaur-themed character named Dinger. Fortunately, it was all a misunderstanding. But the chances
Turn
of the
left
Rockies
onto Cross Hill
apologizing
Road.
for
Then
prematurely
turn left
overreacting
onto
are
Broadway
about the same
Road.
as the odds of Manfred apologizing to the city of Atlanta. Homer Esiason.
Napa know-how.
At the stop
Napa,
sign,
get a $10
turn
gift
left
card
onto
when you
Broadway
buy a
Road.
5-quart jug of Mobil 1 motor oil for $27.99. A deal so rich, they'll call you an oil tycoon. Yep, with great oil for $27.99 and $10 back. All you'll need is a monocle. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
In 2.4 miles, turn right onto Terrace Road.
Taxes and recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Rebate restrictions apply. Offer ends 8/31/21.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call 248-308-5000 or check us out online at callhallfirst.com. You could be saving hundreds of dollars a month by calling Hall Financial today. That's 248-308-5000 or
Chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
All Financial, NMLS ID 1467435. Equal housing lender.
For 3.5 decades, Applied Imaging has provided office technology solutions that help business people operate better. Listen to Applied Imaging customers discuss their Applied Imaging relationship, like Rubar, a Village Press Demand Creations.
Today's business world is changing so fast. These guys, they speak our language, and we really love that. They move the business forward, and that's what you need.
Melissa Howard from the Lucas Howard Group.
They understand the importance of our business running and functioning, which is a big factor for us, and one of the reasons why we use Applied Imaging and have stayed with them throughout the years.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Terrace Road.
Michigan. I'm totally satisfied with Applied Imaging, and working with Applied, it's just, to me, it's a no-brainer to stay with somebody that is tried and true and that knows our company.
Put Applied Imaging on your team today and get better results. Applied Imaging, your single source provider for all your office technology services. Applied Imaging now offering telephony and carrier services.
The Detroit Tigers annual Fiesta Tigre celebration is Saturday, August 14th, when the Tigers face the Indians at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans 21 and older receive a free Tigres jersey, courtesy of Miller Lite. Go to tigers.com/tickets.
Jason and Costa broadcast live from Lions Training Camp in Allen Park tomorrow morning 6 till 10. Free and open to the public. It's your opportunity to see your Detroit Lions live. Games, Rory, and the Detroit Lions cheerleaders too. Details at DetroitLions.com/training camp.
Turn right onto Terrace
Or
Road.
call the ticket using the same number. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
In 1 mile, the destination is on your right.
Governor Milliken sitting across
11620
from me.
Terrace Road.
We're cruising on a Tuesday, 7:02. Somebody is already saying the Pistons made the wrong pick with Cade Cunningham.
Wait, he was on yesterday, right?
More aggressively than even Jeff Rieger said that this pick already looks bad. We have somebody that was effusive in the praise of Jalen Green. The two are going to play tonight. Cade Cunningham will go head-to-head against Jalen Green in the Rockets in the Summer League game. Doug Karsh called Summer League yesterday hopelessly insignificant in the crosstalk. It's a great line.
Yeah.
I think I agree this is hopelessly insignificant, yet also compelling and something I feel like I need to watch tonight. Isn't that a weird spot to be in?
Yeah, I think this is a twofold thing. Number one, what's going on? Okay? What is going on tonight in sports? Because last night was a rough night. There was nothing going on, unless you like the Chicago White Sox. So, I mean, look, that and the Tigers are playing the Orioles, okay? So, you know, there's not a lot to pick from. I think the intrigue
In half a mile, the destination is on your right.
Easier than
11620 Terrace Road.
Just the average person out there because they're getting ready for their work week and stuff to see Cade Cunningham, see what he looks like. The station yesterday created a lot of buzz about him, starting with one Jeff Rieger. And I think he's the one that kind of created all this, that like Mike Valenti showed up and he's like, what in God's green earth has happened here? I think it was Jeff's overreaction. And then I just think that the Jalen Green fascination, it's a reality. Most people haven't seen him play because he didn't play in college. And look, this is 1 versus 2. 1 versus 2 always gets you to watch.
I found a couple examples of this happening in the Summer League in the past, and I think it will be very illuminating for Pistons fans to have this information if they're going to watch tonight. Kevin Durant, Greg Oden, Summer League. Kevin Durant shot 5 of 17. Very underwhelming. What a bum. Yeah. Well, turns out he was a hell of a player, still is a hell of a player, just won his 3rd gold medal and carried Team USA further.
Well, I think he's the best player in the game right now.
He might be. I mean, Giannis would say otherwise, but you tell me, big shot at the end of a game, Durant's at the top of the list. But the point is, he struggled against his contemporary in the Summer League. Michael Beasley was the number 2 pick, and he got the better of little old Derrick Rose.
The destination is on your right.
Award. The
11620 Terrace Road.
Is hopelessly insignificant, but that doesn't mean I'm not watching. And what I do want to see out of Cade tonight is, can he have the ball in his hands a little more? I think in game 1 he was trying to make sure everybody else was comfortable. I think he's a team guy, but he needs to get comfortable himself, and I don't think he ever did.
That's the knock on him, is that he's got to get that, hey, it's my show thing. Well, I don't think we want him to even do that. I'd rather have him be the passive way and try to fit in. Let's see how this game's played at the different level and stuff. These games we're just so ahead of evaluation long term and what you're going to see